Today on Hearts of Heroes, 3 stories about people facing life-threatening situations.
I just saw flames shooting up from my stove.
I saw the fire. I was like, ah!
With no formal training, they jump in, hoping to make a difference.
The man was actually being electrocuted.
Help him, bro.
Then I hear somebody on the platform tell me, do CPR. I know that I'm gonna get shocked if I touch him.
And along the way, they become unlikely heroes.
She's hollering fire.
And then I flung her in the wheelchair and I opened the door and said, fire!
Plus,
I have a little surprise for you.
a surprise visit from a Hall of Fame basketball hero.
Thelma, how you doing?
These everyday people prove that anyone has what it takes to be a true hero.
Not all heroes wear capes, and they don't all wear a uniform. Every single day across the country, friends, family, and strangers rise to the occasion and become heroes.
Our first unlikely hero is a little girl who proved when it comes to fire safety, you're never too young to step up and do the right thing.
Jacksonville, Florida. Miles of ocean, long stretches of rivers, and a close-knit beach community. It's really a wonderful place to raise a young family.
We have a lot of activities to do, beaches, boats, pools, all kinds of fun stuff.
I currently live here with my wife, Megan, and my daughter, Amelia.
We should follow the voice that you always hear.
Oh, you're right. Okay, we gotta listen.
My daughter is 5 years old.
Ask
Put your
them,
arms
be
up.
careful.
She's very charismatic and outgoing, for sure.
She's a brilliantly smart girl.
This girl's smarts would be put to the test when she faced a fiery disaster one summer afternoon.
It was pretty much a normal day. She said, I want French fries and I want chicken nuggets. So I started making her lunch.
After lunch, Daniel stepped away from the kitchen for a moment.
This is where everything happened, and Amelia was standing right here.
Alone in the kitchen, Amelia saw that the air fryer on top of the stove was on fire.
I was listening to music and I saw the fire. It looked so red and it was orange. I was like, ah! I was so scared that it was gonna overflow the house.
Amelia did the right thing. The very moment she saw smoke, she got the attention of the nearest adult. In this case, her dad, Daniel.
She comes running in. She's imaginative, so I didn't really necessarily become alarmed right away. And I was just thinking that she was kind of playing me. She was like, Dad, you have to come see this. So initially, I was just like, okay, Amelia, what do I have to come see?
Not fazed, the 5-year-old insisted that Daniel follow her to the kitchen.
I turned the corner out of my room and I saw that the stove was on fire. I didn't know why there was a fire there. I just saw flames shooting up from my stove. I knew that I didn't have a lot of time to react. I said, Amelia, get outside.
And I was super scared that it was gonna catch the whole house on fire.
I first went for the fire extinguisher. Unfortunately, the fire extinguisher that I normally kept under the sink was across at my parents' house.
Thanks to Amelia's persistence, Daniel fought the fire. He grabbed a glass of water sitting on the counter and tried to douse the flames.
It didn't work at all. It just kind of spread it around a little bit because I think there was grease in the air fryer, and grease and water don't really mix well. I realized that I just needed to grab the air fryer and get it out of the house. I grabbed it off of the stove, and as fast as I could, I ran it out here, I opened the door, and I threw it back into the pool to put the fire out.
I was kind of like, dude, what are you doing?
The plastic had started melting and started dripping everywhere. Some of it got onto my feet, burned up my feet pretty good.
With the fire extinguished, Daniel made a call to his wife, Megan.
I was like, is Amelia okay? Are you okay? I don't care, this house can burn down. Like, as long as my family's safe, that was my main concern. And when I walk into the house, the first thing I did was hug Amelia, and she goes, I saved the house from a fire, I'm a hero.
This near tragic experience taught the family an important lesson in fire safety.
One of the things was if you see smoke and there's a fire, to make sure that you get out of the house. We made sure that she knew the exits, and she did.
She is such a good girl, and I'm very, very proud of how quick she honestly was to be able to get a hold of her dad to save the house.
She was definitely our hero in all of this, and I think, had she not reacted the way that she did, that we may not have this beautiful home that we have right now.
Okay. She goes, I love you.
Coming up.
Somebody help my man.
The man was actually being electrocuted.
I'm hearing everybody scream, help him, help him.
Help him, bro.
And later.
I have a little surprise for you.
What? A basketball legend surprises a 102-year-old survivor.
Thelma, how you doing?
And the hero who saved her life. But first, a safety tip to keep your home protected.
While it may seem like an unlikely source, clothes dryers cause roughly 2,900 fires each year.
That's why we encourage everyone to clean lint filters every time they use the dryer. And clean your dryer vent ductwork every year.
And remember, never leave the dryer running unattended. Awareness is key.
Every day, millions of people rely on trains to get them from one place to another.
And when a passenger fell onto a 750-volt rail used to power these trains, one unlikely hero risked his own safety to rescue the life of a man he had never met.
Every day, Chicago's train system carries 750,000 people to 145 stations. But the Windy City's train system is different than the underground railways of New York or Boston.
If you've ever been in Chicago, you will see how our platforms are elevated and visible for the public and everyone to see.
In June of 2022, 20-year-old Anthony Perry was on one of those trains and would have to make a life or death decision.
I'm coming from my mom's house. I'm going to my grandfather's house.
As Anthony got off the train, he noticed a fight brewing between two men on the platform.
They got their hands up like they're about to fight. And I look down at my phone, and next thing you know, I look back up, they're like flying towards the train track.
In the scuffle, the men had fallen off the platform onto the rails. Then, one man was thrown directly on top of the high-voltage third rail.
It was a little bit past this sign right here, and this little area over here.
I look down on the train track, I just see a guy just shaking lifelessly, and I could tell he's in distress.
The man was actually being electrocuted.
I'm hearing everybody scream, help him, help him.
Somebody help my man. Help him, bro.
I don't see nobody taking action, so I figured why not step in and help.
He understood that he could not wait for 911, so he took it upon himself to jump onto the L platform.
I get down and I get a good grip of his arm, and I know that I'm gonna get shocked if I touch him.
Anthony attempted to pull him off the electrified rail, but that sent a current through his own body.
And it was painful, I felt it all through my body. It's like sticking a fork inside of an outlet and just holding it for about 30 seconds.
After 3 attempts, Anthony was able to get the man off the track, but his heart had stopped beating.
Then I hear somebody on the platform tell me, do CPR. So I flip him on his back and I just perform chest compressions.
This brave young man had never before performed CPR, but luckily, the procedure was taught in his high school.
The basics of CPR just kind of came back to me from high school.
Had none of the experience, so for him to do what he did, he performed CPR all that with the guy.
But the man was still not breathing.
I'll hear the lady say, open his mouth so he can get oxygen. So I open his mouth and he's starting to move and his breath is coming through more clear.
He resuscitated the man by giving him CPR. So those moments in which he jumped into a plan of action actually saved his life.
Right about then is where the fire department had came. When I seen those first responders show up, I was like, yes, help is here, real help, because I didn't really know what I was doing.
Because of Anthony's heroic actions, the man survived. Bystander Tavi Gee recorded the rescue and posted it on social media.
It got bigger and bigger. People shared it, and it got to millions of views.
Soon, the story reached Police Commander Roderick Watson of Chicago's 3rd District.
was so amazing that I had to reach out to this young man.
He was kind of congratulating me, saying we need more people like you in this community, and it made me feel good. It made me feel like I did the right thing.
Anthony's moment of courage would change the course of his life.
We took Anthony under our wings for Chicago Police Department because I think he's a prime candidate. You can see that he's genuine, he actually cares. And that's what we need within the Chicago Police Department.
I really want to be a first responder because I'm able to give back to the community, and I think I'll be a perfect fit for the job.
There's so many aspects of Chicago policing. You can actually make an effect and a difference, not with just arresting, but actually helping the community. So Anthony has been a part of that.
It's definitely a different world now being around the police, and it's very inspiring, really, because I see all the love that they show.
Here's a young man who actually cares about the community and cares about his fellow man. He will represent us well. That young man is something else, without a doubt. He is a hero.
Coming up, a 102-year-old woman and her caregiver are caught in a fire.
You couldn't see anything in there. It was all foggy with smoke.
Plus, a surprise visit from a basketball superstar.
Thelma, how you doing?
Home caregivers are already heroes for the love and dedication that they show each and every day for their patients.
And when one of these home care providers saved a 102-year-old woman from a house fire, she became our next unlikely hero.
In Boca Raton sits the quaint Florida retirement community of Boca Lakes. 102-year-old Thelma Cookie Hart has lived here for decades and is surrounded by mementos and keepsakes from her long life.
My home is important. I think that it's mine. It belongs here. Everything I have here is mine. They can't take it away from me.
Thelma's able to live independently, in large part because of the help that she gets from her caregiver, Primrose Allen.
I worked with Thelma for 8 years. I don't know if I did so connected to one of my grandparents like Cookie. I don't know why, but I am so connected to her.
Primrose? Well, without her, I wouldn't be here. She's wonderful.
There's one other thing you should know about Thelma. She's a die-hard Miami Heat basketball fan.
I loved watching the Heat. I don't watch any other thing on television.
If she missed the game, if I don't come back in time to put the TV and the channel, she's so mad at me, she wouldn't even talk to me.
On a November afternoon in 2019, Thelma was taking an afternoon nap before the Heat game later that night. Primrose figured she'd grab some shut-eye herself.
While I was in my deep sleep right there, I smelled something. And I jumped up, I rushed to the kitchen. I didn't see anything. So then I pushed the bathroom door. You couldn't see anything in there. It was all foggy with smoke.
The ceiling fan had overheated and ignited.
And then I see the fire dropping down and the towels caught fire. I rushed back and grabbed the wheelchair and then I flung her in the wheelchair and I said, Cookie, we have to go.
She picked me up and she put me in a chair and she had me out the door and she's hollering fire.
She was asking me, what's going on, what's going on? I said, you have a fire in your bathroom.
Thelma was safe, but Primrose realized that still inside the house was a lifetime of irreplaceable photos, mementos, and documents.
I come back in and grab them and run out.
Coming up, Thelma and Primrose get the all-star treatment from Hall of Fame Miami Heat superstar Alonzo Mourning.
Thelma, first of all, I want to thank you so much for being the oldest and our #1 fan.
But first, another tip to keep you safe in your home.
Dust in your home might seem annoying, but did you know it can also be dangerous?
A single electrical spark could potentially ignite dust buildup inside appliances around your home. These sparks can quickly become a blaze.
Consider marking a few days on your calendar. This will serve as a reminder to check the appliances in your home. Bottom line, keeping them clean will help keep you safe.
In November of 2019, 102-year-old Thelma Hark's home was on the verge of being destroyed by fire. With the bathroom engulfed in smoke, caregiver Primrose Allen rushed Thelma to safety.
It's never safe to go back into a burning building. But in her panic, Primrose did what many people do. She went back inside to get some personal belongings.
The fire caught on the towels, and I ran with them in my hands and flung them on the grass and come back in and get some water and pour on it.
By this time, the fire department had arrived.
And the fire engines, you can't imagine how many fire engines came.
Thelma's home survived, but suffered extensive smoke damage. Our sponsor, Belfour Property Restoration, was soon on the scene, helping with the cleanup.
It was really just smoke and soot damage throughout the entire place. And then once we found out that there was asbestos materials in there, she definitely couldn't be there while we were removing that.
This meant Thelma would miss watching her favorite team play that night.
She said, I am not gonna get to watch the Miami Heat tonight. I said, you're not gonna watch the Miami Heat tonight because we're not gonna stay in that house because it was so smelly with smoke, and she was so disappointed.
Belfour representative Kevin McGann knew that he wanted to help.
She's like, I just want to watch the game. And I'm like, all right, well, let's figure out how to make that happen. I knew she'd be able to watch it if we got her a hotel room. I knew that there was a hotel right down the road.
They got Thelma checked in just in time to catch the game.
I fell in love with Thelma. She's just one of those type of people that you just want to help and you want to take care of.
Thelma's bathroom was completely restored and her home was cleared of any dangerous materials. When Sheldon Yellen of Belfour heard Thelma's story, he wanted to surprise this super fan and her lifesaver.
Thelma, how are you?
Oh, fine, how are you?
Great.
So he reached out to Hall of Famer and Heat superstar Alonzo Mourning.
Once we got with you, and my colleague Kevin came around. He was asking, is there anything we can do for you? Is it true that the only thing you asked to have happen was get you in front of a TV so you could watch your Miami Heat?
Yay!
And how long have you been following the Miami Heat?
Oh, quite a few years.
Well, I have a little surprise for you.
What?
Alonzo!
Thelma, how you doing?
Oh, Mike, how are you?
How are you?
I'm fine. I saw you on television the other night.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Thelma, first of all, I want to thank you so much on behalf of the Miami Heat for being the oldest and our #1 fan
Oh, I guess so.
of Heat Nation. With that said, we want to give you
What do
a
I
sign.
do with that?
It's a keepsake for you. You can just put it on your nightstand or
Are you kidding?
as a pleasant reminder that you are our #1 fan. Can I sit right here next to you?
Sure.
So, first of all, you're my hero for saving her.
Yes.
Well, Primrose, you know this ball is for you.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, ma'am, I'm signing the ball for you.
Thank you.
You can feel the authenticity of this because I'm right here in front of you,
Yes.
and I'm signing.
And I'm happy to see you.
I'm happy to see you too, because she's a hero right here.
He's the hero.
Yes, ma'am. Yep, she's a hero. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate all
Oh,
this.
please. You know I'm a hugger. Oh, there we go. Oh. Primrose is a pleasure, sweetie.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
A pleasure.
It's motivating to me when I see her and I see how alert she is and really being excited about the game of basketball. It gets me up and it gets me excited. Thelma, she was a treat. She really was.
To see the Heat #1 fan and to have Alonzo here in person to give of himself, it's just an incredibly fulfilling day for us.
It was a thrill to meet him because he's a great athlete, and I admire that. Because I'll tell you, I'm a lousy athlete.
Thelma is lucky enough to have her own personal superstar, her caregiver, Primrose.
Well, I respect her, and I love her, and I do anything for her.
She loves me and I love her. And because of that, I dedicate myself to her, the best of my ability. I will stay with her to the end. I will take care of her until death do part.
We have just met some unlikely and incredible heroes. The good news, you can be a hero too.
Just be on the lookout for your family, friends, and neighbors. Doing the right thing simply is the right thing to do. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.